In this video today, we are going to be buying every single LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog set out of Wave 3. If you guys aren't familiar with the past two videos that we released about the Sonic Legos, let's talk about it. The LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog franchise has been off to an incredible start. Launching in the summer of 2023, we've had a bunch of sets release and they have no signs of slowing down. In our last LEGO video, which was, a long time ago, we already knew what Wave 3 was going to hold. And with those sets releasing in the summer of last year, we have no time to waste, especially with Wave 4 releasing just recently. So we're going to be heading into my local Target to pick up all of the sets and head back to the house to review them all for you. So all we need to do now is go in, see if we can find Wave 3. So I hope that they're still around. We are really late. All right, so we are here. Okay, I already see 1, 2, 3, baby. Got all of them. This is exactly what we needed, honestly. Long overdue, like we've talked about, but I'm just ready to get home and look over these and build them because I've been so excited about a lot of these sets. So let's go ahead and head to checkout. Bag is officially secured. We got all 3 sets of Wave 3, ironically. They're no poly bags, I believe. They're no anything like that. This is everything that Wave 3 had to offer. So we're gonna go ahead and head back to the house, unbox everything, and take a look at what these sets hold. Alright, so we have all of the sets here. It is only 3 sets for Wave 3, which is very fitting. We have the Knuckles and the Master Emerald Shrine set. We got the Tails Adventure Boat, and we have the SpeedSuperSonic versus Egg Drillster. So I'm very excited to dive into all of these. We're going to go smallest to biggest, so without any further ado, let's dive in to our first set. First up, we have the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Knuckles and the Master Emerald Shrine. This set retails for around $34.99 and has always been incredibly interesting to me. If you guys aren't aware, in the previous wave of Sonic the Hedgehog Legos, we had a set somewhat similar to this, with Knuckles featuring another character alongside the Master Emerald. When we found out that the next wave was also going to have a Knuckles / Master Emerald set, it was a little confusing. But now in retrospect, looking at that set and now looking at this one, they're very different, and I'm happy that we have this set. So without any further ado, let's get into the box. At the top left, we have the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog logo, which is on the background of a few blue bricks. At the bottom left, it lets us know that the set is 325 pieces. And at the top right, it says that the set is for ages 8 and up, the set number, and the name of the set, which is Knuckles and the Master Emerald Shrine. And of course, at the bottom right, we have the traditional Sonic render that's used on all the merchandise nowadays. We have some nice art that showcases the set in action with the Shrine, Knuckles, Amy, and the Egg Robo that's included. One of the sides of the box features the Knuckles and Amy render that we've been using for around 20 years now. The other side is nothing special, just some legal stuff. The top of the box is pretty cool, showcasing the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog logo along with the figures that are included, which is Knuckles, Amy, and the Egg Robo, as well as this scale of Knuckles right here. The boring bottom of the box as usual. And then lastly, the back. See the Egg Robo holding a flicky, Amy doing her thing, Knuckles waking up in the morning, which is pretty funny, and then a better look at the complete set in action. Now that we have all that out of the way, it's time to start unboxing this thing. And once again, shout out to LEGO for making these little press points in the box to make it easier to open. The set comes with 3 bags, and here's a look at the little instruction manual. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into bag 1. Now, as I'm sure you saw, bag 1 is very small. We're essentially just building Amy and her little contraption, but Amy isn't just the minifigure, it's almost contractual at this point for her to have her Pico Pico hammer. Here she is in all of her glory. This is the same Amy minifigure that we've had in all of the prior sets, but her hammer is reused from the Sonic's Green Hill Zone Loop Challenge set, which was the $100 Sonic set from Wave 1, not her Pico Pico hammer with the pink finish at the bottoms with the heart on it that was used in Amy's Animal Rescue Island set. So if you've been wanting a cheaper way to get this Pico Pico hammer, well, here you go. To finish off the bag, we're going to be building the launcher that you use to fire grapes at the Egg Robo with. And yes, you heard me right, grapes in a Knuckles Master Emerald set. I love that touch, obviously grapes being Knuckles' favorite food canonically. And you'll see grapes pop up throughout the rest of the set. But you can tell that the people behind the LEGO Sonic line are fans of the franchise, with them including stuff like this, so this is awesome. All you do is press down on this and boom, you fire the grapes. Next up, we got bag 2, and this is where a lot of the meat and potatoes are going to be. The biggest part of this bag is going to be building parts of the Master Emerald Shrine, but also we're going to have our Knuckles minifigure in here and a couple fun details that we can build as well. Here is the Knuckles minifigure. Now, this is actually different from the last one. The previous Knuckles had just kind of a neutral grin on his face. This one has a real angry look, which I actually prefer, but no changes or anything to his body, such as the back with the tail or anything like that. It's pretty standard Knuckles stuff. Now, here we go, building the shrine. Now, this is something I've been waiting for as a Sonic Sonic fan for a long time, playing Sonic Adventure, seeing Knuckles on the shrine, whether it be from the Sonic Adventure games or Sonic X or whatever have you. It's always been a very appealing look, and I was a little disappointed last go around with the Master Emerald set. There was no shrine, it was just the Master Emerald, so I'm very happy that they went ahead and actually made a real shrine. Not just that, but all the details that they put with it and how fun they make the actual shrine, and add some weird lore that you wouldn't expect, which we'll get to later. But here's what it looks like when you're done with bag 2. Looks pretty fun. You have some of the details in here, such as the punching bag already added, which I love that that's here. It's very Knuckles themed. As you can see though, there's a lot more room to add different things to the rest of the shrine outside of it. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into bag 3. Last but not least, bag 3 really just has the Egg Robo and some finishing touches to the rest of the shrine. Something I will say that I'm very happy about is the new and improved badniks that they chose to go with this wave. Egg Robo is an amazing choice. It's just an iconic pick, especially for Knuckles, with the Egg Robo being introduced in Sonic 3 Knuckles, which is the same game that Knuckles was introduced in. It just makes sense, and also with you being able to put flickies inside of it, it's just so cool. I love it. Also, I love this. We have the Chaos Cola, which has been in some of the previous sets, but it's part of a side table that's going to be going somewhere very cool that you guys are going to love. Now we're really just fleshing out the rest of the actual shrine with some stuff going inside of it, which I love that there's an inside section for Knuckles where he can live and hang out at. He's not just sleeping on the stairs the entire time. He actually has somewhere to hang out inside, kind of like Patrick's rock. I think that's so fun. And with the past 2 waves of Sonic Legos, the badniks have been fine. They've been solid. They're very game accurate, but nothing really, mind-blowing or something that impressive. I'm really loving this Egg Robo. I think he's awesome. The building process is super fun, and I think he looks great. And this is the last thing you actually build is part of this set, so we're almost done here. And here he is. I think he looks awesome. I think if you're going to do a Lego Egg Robo, this is what he should look like. And bam, there you have it. That is the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Knuckles in the Master Emerald Shrine set. This thing is awesome. It's so fun to build. You get so much content in this little set. It takes an iconic Sonic location and adds that classic LEGO quirkiness to it, which I love. Lore callbacks such as the grapes being included, which is awesome. Knuckles having a bedroom inside of the shrine might be one of my favorite things that LEGO has ever done with Sonic. Not just that, but it's always great whenever you get another minifigure, and Amy's always a great inclusion, as we haven't had a minifigure of her since Wave 1. And then, like I was saying, the Egg Robo is so cool, and the inclusion of having him with the flicky inside of his head, I mean, what else do I have to say? This is undoubtedly one of my favorite Sonic LEGO sets that they've ever done. It's collectible, it's playable, it's just overall so good, and especially for its price point, I think every Sonic fan who is interested in the Sonic LEGO line should take a crack at it. This is an amazing set. I highly recommend it. With all that being said, let's move on to the next set. Next up, we have the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Tails Adventure Boat set. This retails for $54.99 and is the second biggest set of the wave. At the top left, you have the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog logo. The bottom left lets us know that it has 393 pieces, which is only 68 pieces more than our last set for $20 more. At the top right, it lets us know that the set is for ages 8 and up, the set number and the name of the set being Tails Adventure Boat. At the bottom right, we have the infamous Sonic render in this really funny disclaimer. And here is the art that shows the chill area where Sonic and Tails hang out at, their boat in action. If I can give the set any points off the bat, it's really cute. On the side of the box, we once again have very old Sonic and Tails renders. The other side is once again as boring as ever. The top of the box features the LEGO Sonic logo along with the minifigures of Sonic, Tails, and the Jaws badnik, as well as the scaling of the Tails minifigure. Another bottom of the box, and here's the back. We see Sonic rescuing this turtle. It's almost so cute I want to die. Sonic and Tails grabbing some lunch and them having some fun on the boat as well. And here you get another better look at the set in action, which is so cool. Now it's time to open this bad boy up and see everything that we got inside. Gotta toss this box though. We got these 2 little black stringy things, which will come in handy later. Here's a look at the little manual, and we're gonna start off with another really tiny bag 1. Now if you get the set, make sure that you have these 2 black strings on deck. First order business is building the Sonic minifigure, which is pretty standard work here, but he actually has a little cool feature for this one if you wish. Also, I think it's really funny that Sonic is the first character that you build in a set called Tails Adventure Boat. And here he is, the Sonic minifigure. All things considered, it's pretty standard Sonic, but he has a life vest and some water skis, which are really fun. You could of course exclude both of these if you want, but if you already have a normal Sonic LEGO minifigure, I'd recommend just keeping these on him. Next up, we're just building the Jaws badnik, which is of course a buildable LEGO minifigure if you want to call it that. This is a more obscure badnik than we traditionally see, far less common than Egg Robo, which receives a bunch of merchandise. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first ever piece of Jaws merchandise that we've seen in Sonic history, so if there are any Jaws stands out there, this is for you. Now here he is in the flesh. In my opinion, he looks really good. He has a little turtle inside
side that doesn't fit all the way in, which is interesting, but hey, it's nice that they added it. Not on the level of the Egg Robo, but still it's always nice to have a new Badnik Lego, as it just adds more to the value of the set. Alright, now it's time for bag 2, where we can get into the real meat and potatoes. First order of business, of course, is building our last Lego minifigure of this set, and that is none other than Tails the Fox himself. Here he is, as cute as ever, with a little wink this time around. If you guys aren't aware, his first Lego minifigure was just a normal expression. This isn't the first time Lego has done this, as they also did this with Sonic as well. All we gotta do now is shove Tails in his little sphere and build a boat. Now, something I really love about the Sonic Lego sets is the slice of lifeiness of it, if you will. There's just something really fun and silly and goofy about these sets that add a sense of normality to the Sonic universe. Little fun details being added with Sonic and friends having cookouts or having fun activities to do it wherever the set is based in. And not only will the set literally have that, we'll get to that later, but also I perfectly believe that Sonic and Tails would hang out by parasailing on a boat. Also, speaking of the boat, this fun little detail right here, like I was talking about with the slice of life, having a cookie and a citrus and a game controller right here, is awesome. It's just those little details that add so much personality and quirkiness to these sets. I love it. Now, the rest of this bag is really just building a lot of the base for the rest of the boat. Nothing too crazy, but once when we get to bag 3, we're able to start fleshing more things out right here. A lot of this is mainly just building out the sides and mainly the front of the boat as well. I love how Tails has his own little branding, it's so cute. Now, this being called the Sea Fox 2 is actually some crazy Sonic lore, because in numerous pieces of Sonic media in the past, whether it be a game or a comic or a show, Tails has had boats called the Sea Fox. So this boat being called the Sea Fox 2 means that this is the canonical follow-up to that boat, so this is awesome. And here's what it looks like once when the boat is finished and you have Sonic hooked up to everything. Very nice, but we're not done. Last but not least, bag number 4. There's honestly not too much to build or say here. This is really just building the little chill hangout area for Sonic and Tails. It's obviously modeled after Green Hill Zone like a lot of the Sonic Lego sets are, which I really don't have a problem with, if you guys recall from Wave 1. But these little additions to the sets are really fun. Like I said earlier, that's that fun little slice of life aspect to the sets, because in a lot of Sonic games, Sega's not going to show Sonic and Tails having a barbecue, so this is appreciated. And there you guys have it. That is the complete LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Tails Adventure boat set. Now, although I've said pretty much all positive things about this set, I'm actually not going to completely rave about this thing. While the set is not bad by any means, it's cute, I like it, I don't know if I can justify it for its price tag. Like I said, this is $20 more than the last set we previously talked about, and if we want to round up, this is going to put us nearly at $60. And like I said earlier, for only 68 more pieces than the previous set, I don't know if it's really worth it, considering I still think I like the previous set more than this one. Now, if you're buying this for someone you know that really likes boats but also Sonic, then this is right up their alley. But if you're looking for a Lego set at a cheaper deal that also features Sonic and Tails, I highly recommend the Sonic and Tails Tornado Plane and Workshop set. That set is around $39.99, which is basically 40 bucks. That gives you Sonic and Tails, like we mentioned, the iconic tornado, and an entire workshop for you to play in, and for $15 less than this. Now, if you have the extra $15 and really like boats, then go ahead, shoot for this. I do think it's a good set. But for being one of the higher end Sonic Legos thus far, I would have liked to see a little more out of this. From the beginning, I was campaigning for a big minifigure to be included. For instance, instead of the barbecue area, you could have turned that into a fishing spot for Big to hang out at. I don't know, I'm kind of just yapping now. Regardless, I like the set, I think it's good. But part of these videos is me building these sets and recommending you guys what I think is the best based off of my experience. So not only can you have a better building experience, but also save a little bit of money. And not only do I think that they're better sets from previous waves, but also just a better set from this wave already. So if this is your dream Lego set, if this is what you've been wanting from the Sonic Legos, shoot for it. It's a really good set. But if you're kind of on the fence and don't really know what to get right now, I would pass on this one and maybe wait for a sale. Last but not least, we have the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog SpeedSuperSonic vs. Egg Drillster set. This retails for a whopping $80, making it the second most expensive Sonic Lego set thus far. At the top left, we have the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog logo as usual. The bottom left actually combines all the info we need, the set being for ages 8 and up, the number of the set, and the name of the set being SpeedSuperSonic vs. Egg Drillster, and the set sitting at 590 pieces, significantly more than the past two. The bottom right features that classic Sonic the Hedgehog render. The art features SpeedSuperSonic in a ball attacking Eggman and his Egg Drillster, with Shadow going against this egg pawn in the back. With the art being in space, I have to figure that this is supposed to be the space colony arc, but I don't recall Eggman ever using the Egg Drillster in Sonic Adventure 2. He does use this in space in Sonic Advance, however, so maybe this is a Sonic Advance Sonic Adventure 2 mashup set, I don't know. Inside of the box features renders of SpeedSuperSonic, Shadow, and Dr. Eggman. The boring other side. The top of the box showcases all of the different minifigures such as SpeedSuperSonic, Shadow, Dr. Eggman, the Egg Pawn, pawn and the egg wing, bottom of the box that nobody cares about. Now let's take a look at the back of the box. We have Supersonic and Shadow saving these flickies, Eggman working at his little computer, and then jumping out of his egg drillster. Here's also a better look at the set in action, and this image of Shadow is so funny. Now all we gotta start doing is opening up the box and get right to work and toss this little thing away. Here's a look at the instruction manual, and now we're just gonna start off with bag number 1. Before we get into building the launcher, you know the drill. We have to build the Supersonic Lego minifigure, really our first real new minifigure of this wave. I know it's technically still Sonic, but it is also still a technically new minifigure. And here he is in the flesh. I really like this thing. Honestly, not too much to say. It's a very standard Supersonic Lego minifigure, but I do like the molding of the head, and it's pretty much just a repainted body from the normal Sonic that we have with the other Legos, but still a really nice expression on the face. I like this one a lot. Now the rest of this bag is us building something we haven't built since the Wave 1, and that is a launcher. That was one of the big selling features of the LEGO Sonic line, and there were none in Wave 2, and there's been none in Wave 3 so far, so I'm very happy that we're able to build one of these again. It's been long overdue, but if you want to use one in a brand new set, you gotta fork over $80. Now the last thing in this bag is the egg pawn, which I absolutely love. I think I might actually prefer this thing to the egg robo. Once again, it has the feature of the little flicky inside, which is so cool. I love the way the modern designed badniks are designed for the Lego in this wave. They're so good. I love this thing so much. And as you can see, here he is right here. I love this thing. He's awesome. Next up is bag 2. We're going to start off by building the gun wing, as they call it. I always refer to it as the gun beetle. This one is very cool that yes, we have a Lego of this, but I wouldn't say it's on the same level as the egg pawn that we had. This is more similar to the Jaws badnik from the previous set that we just built. I still love this as it's a very nostalgic badnik for me. I wish that there was some extra details on here, but of course this is a buildable Lego minifigure, so there's not too much you can do. Here it is in action. I think it looks amazing. I just kind of wish that the head panel came with the gun logo and the model number printed on. The rest of this bag is really nothing special. We're really just building a wall, which is obviously not too crazy, but it's kind of meant to be a little bit destructible for the egg drillster to drive through, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Here's what it looks like when you're done. This is all going to be part of something that you're going to be able to attach at a later point, but we'll get to that later. Now it is time for bag number 3. First order business, like a lot of these bags, is building our new minifigure, and that is going to be of none other than Shadow the Hedgehog himself. This is indeed different from the last Shadow the Hedgehog minifigures. He has a different expression on his face. Other than that, it's all exactly the same, but if you're going to reuse a character, I'm really happy that LEGO always does a different expression. Next up, we're building the other part of this set's quote-unquote background. It's almost like a computer room of sorts. I really don't know what this set is entirely going for in terms of referencing the franchise. It's clearly going for some kind of Sonic Adventure 2 thing, but this is almost like the least Sonic Adventure 2 set imaginable other than having Supersonic and Shadow in here. This little detail of LEGO Shadow and Maria is super cute though and can't go unrecognized. And now we're really just fleshing out the rest of it, adding some more details such as item boxes, little egg things, which I do appreciate about this set. I like the little egg elements because this is kind of an Eggman set in itself. Here's what it looks like when it's all said and done. Actually very charming and can make for a fun playtime. Now on to bag number 4. Spoiler alert, this bag and the rest of the bags really is just us building the egg drillster. It's a lot that goes into building this guy. It's actually a really fun build, and I'm happy that the egg drillster is here. Once again, really canon in this making sense in the Sonic timeline doesn't really matter to me. I just think it's kind of interesting that they tried to market this as a Sonic Adventure 2 like set with stuff that's never really in Sonic Adventure 2 such as this. But what does matter to me is that yes, this is an actual vehicle in the Sonic the Hedgehog universe, and 2, it's actually fun to build, which is the most important thing. If it's a Lego, it has to be fun to make, and this is no exception, just like any of the other Sonic Legos. Bag 5 is technically our last bag. It's not an egg drillster set if we don't have the actual Dr. Eggman, so here he is in the flesh. He looks amazing. There's no changes to the previous Dr. Eggman minifigure, but to be fair, this is probably one of the greatest minifigures of all time, so there's no real need to change anything about him, but I would like to see a variation of him in some point in the future. The rest of this bag, as I'm sure you guys are aware, is really us just fleshing out the rest of the egg drillster. It's near completion at this point, but there's a lot of really fun details that you can still add to it, which I really love. When I said this is technically the last bag, it's because there's also this bag filled with our wheels, and those are really our final steps. It's just putting these tires together, attaching them to the egg drillster, and then making Eggman's little cockpit, and that is going to be the final step in building this set, which is a really fun build, I do want to say. Now here it is in all of its glory, the egg drillster. Now I do want to say it's not too big, it's not too small, but don't expect anything too tremendous out of this thing. It's just pretty standard Lego stuff, but it still looks really nice, and I'm glad that it's here. And here it is, the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Supersonic vs. Egg Drillster set. I think this is really solid. I enjoy Eggman and his Egg Drillster. Drillster, it's nice to have a new LEGO minifigure of Supersonic, but overall, I don't know if this is once again worth the $80 price tag attached to it. This is the second biggest technically Sonic LEGO set so far in terms of price, despite it not having more pieces than some sets cheaper than it, such as the Sonic vs. Death Egg robot set, which not only has a more iconic vehicle that Eggman uses, but it's also $20 cheaper, and it has more pieces, so you're getting more bang for your buck. I don't know, maybe I've just become more economically conscious over the past few years, but I just don't know if I can justify this for the $80 price tag. Once again, there's not a single bad LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog set. This is not bad by any means. If you have $80 that you can burn, go ahead and pick this up, but by no means do I think that this is the definitive LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog set. Instead of getting this, I recommend that you get the Sonic vs. Death Egg robot set and get the Shadow set that's $20, and he comes with a bike in that and also a badnik too. That will come out to be the same price that this set is, and you get so much more if you do that. Once again, none of these sets are bad. I encourage you, if you want these and you have the money for them, go ahead and get them. I just want to offer better alternatives for you guys and just give my honest opinion. The Supersonic minifigure is kind of the biggest draw of this thing, but the thing is, you're gonna have more opportunities to get a Supersonic minifigure in the future. So here's what I think kind of summed up. This is not a bad set. If you want it, go for it. But if you're on the fence, either wait for this to go on a crazy sale or pick up the Sonic vs. Death Egg robot set and the Shadows Escape set. It'll come out to be the same price as this is, and you'll get so much more. And there you guys have it. That is wave 3 of the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog line. I actually really like this wave, having one of my favorite sets in the entire line's history, as well as 2 other really cute sets that I just simply don't think are worth exactly their price because they are 2 of the higher end sets in the entire line's history. But some still really fun, cute stuff in here that expands the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog universe. If you guys have the interest and money in these, I would highly recommend them. If I have to give my favorite set of the line, it undoubtedly has to be the Knuckles and the Master Emerald Shrine set. I think that one is incredible. Features multiple different minifigures, has a really cool play feature, and of course it's lore accurate and iconic to the Sonic franchise, having, once again, the Master Emerald Shrine. It's so cool. Overall, another really amazing wave for LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog. I can't recommend these sets enough, maybe some not over others from the past, but still not a bad set in sight here. But speaking of sights, where should our sights be set on for the future? Well, we actually know what wave 4 is going to hold because, well, it's out at the time of me releasing this video. That includes Sonic's Campfire Clash, the Cyclone vs. Metal Sonic set, and last but not least, Super Shadow vs. Bio Lizard. Oh, and this too, I guess. Well, I really enjoyed this wave from LEGO Sonic. This next wave, I am extremely excited for. And the good news is that you won't have to wait too long for the next episode in this LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog series, because maybe I already have these sets in my possession. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.
And be right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to find away.